Hey everyone, Jordy from Seven Eagle Group. I'm so excited today to be chatting with Brandon Ritze from Columbus, Ohio. Brandon spent 8 years in the Navy as an information system tech, and he now works at Covale as a cybersecurity assessment specialist. Brandon, thank you so much for taking a few minutes today to share your story and to help our veterans who are interested in cyber learn a little bit about your experiences and what you do and hear from you.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
You got it. So let's start out. Why don't you tell everyone a little bit about your military experience and what you did and how and what you learned from being in the Navy.
Sure. So I joined the Navy in 2004. My first duty station was in Sicily, Italy, Nass Sigonella. I went on to join the USS Essex and then went to a cyber command, Navy Cyber Warfare Development Group near Washington, D.C. Got out in 2012, joined a small consulting company outside of DC. Initially, I was using my security clearance due to lack of college degree. And in the DC area, that's pretty good to have is a good security clearance. So I found this company, started doing contracts with a major East Coast bank, moved back to Ohio, joined up with the bank as a full-time employee, and then became an analyst at a small tech startup here in Columbus, Ohio.
Nice. Obviously you had the training from the military in cyber, but did you do any training when you got out of the military? Any coursework? Did you have to go get certifications?
So while I was in, there was a big push leading up to 2010, 11 to have, Navy ITs be certified to the equivalent of our civilian counterparts. So I did a lot of certification work. I did a few boot camps while in the Navy, and then when I transitioned out, I also so while I was in, I got my Security Plus, my Networks Plus. I got a Microsoft Administrator certification, and I also attained my let's see. So right as I got out in 2012, I attained CISA. My CISA certification, Certified Information System Auditor. So I got that right as I got out. It was actually a requirement from the company that I joined up with that I attained that certification. Another requirement of the company I just joined, which is Covale, they required that I achieve my CISSP. So I've done courses for those. I've done boot camps for all except for CISSP.
Gotcha. And talk a little bit about what you do at Covale. Like, what's a day in the life like for you?
Sure. So Covale is new to me as this is sort of a position where we're looking to sell our services rather than when I was working at the bank and which is more internal stuff. So what we do is we sell our services as security consultants. We also sell an application. We have a software product that does risk ranking of vulnerabilities. So a lot of it just depends on what we land with our member companies and with the companies we're trying to sell to. My background since I've gotten out of the Navy has been doing cybersecurity assessments. I did third-party assessments all over the world. When I was with the bank, I've continued to do that here at the tech startup. In general, what I do is we meet an organization that wants to assess where they are with their cybersecurity. We use industry standard frameworks to conduct these assessments. This is mostly NIST-based, the National Institute of Standards and Technology, either 853 or the NIST CSF. We go out, we do interviews, we gather evidence, and we determine, compliance or non-compliance with a cybersecurity framework. So that's in general what I do.
What do you like the best about your job?
Getting to meet people, understand different businesses, how they implement their technology, how they implement and how they execute on, different functions within cybersecurity. Um, Being involved in a tech startup is fast paced, it's demanding, it's very interesting. Getting to work with a lot of very, very bright people. Um, but it is rewarding. So
What what advice would you have for veterans who want to go into cybersecurity? Maybe they have an IT background, maybe they don't, but what are the, looking back now, what advice would you give your, somebody who is considering this as a career path? Like what makes somebody, um, in your opinion, very strong in these areas, brings out their passion and just, I want to give our veterans confidence that if they're going to choose cyber, here's what you can expect, and here's some of the things that Brandon recommends.
yeah, absolutely. And I've helped at least two or three of my buddies from the military land cyber jobs. Um, what I would say is cyber is a very it is growing, and at the same time, there aren't enough cyber professionals out there. For somebody in the military, regardless of how confident you are in your IT skills, I would still recommend pursuing, develop your skills, get certifications, develop your training. But once you get into cyber, once you get a foothold, once you find that landing space where you land a job and you get that initial experience, you're not going to have trouble finding work in the future. I think it's a solid field. There's excellent potential for moving up. If your background in the military isn't strong yet, um, you know, find somewhere to land that says, "Hey, look, you're a veteran. You're somebody we can trust to, even though you're not necessarily fully qualified to the point we want, or you don't have the experience that we want. We know that because of your military background, you're probably going to be a solid worker. You're probably going to be an excellent employee." Find an organization that is willing to hire you for that, and then start building your experience. And once you've hit that landing spot, just keep moving forward. And I think cybersecurity is a great field to follow that strategy. So
It also seems like a field where once you get that your foot in the door, as you mentioned in that first job, it's not a cushy job. You got to constantly improve your skills and continue to learn and get certified in new skill sets, right?
yeah, absolutely. That is an excellent point. I will say, it is for anybody. I've helped somebody from the nursing field get into cybersecurity because it is a relatively lucrative field. But I do think you have to sort of be passionate about IT and passionate about cybersecurity. You have to keep training. You have to keep on a course. Build your LinkedIn network and keep in touch with what's coming out and what's changing. Get plugged into the different resources out there for cybersecurity news. There are a lot of great resources, but things are constantly changing. We have the development of AI and how that's going to impact the cybersecurity technology in the face of defense and offense and things like that. I mean, there's so much that's evolving right now. You have to stay up to date. You have to keep your certifications up to date. You have to get your CPEs. You have to keep your head in the game for cybersecurity, definitely.
Great advice. Great advice. What do you like to do when you're not working? What are some of your hobbies or escapes from the stresses of the daily work?
I mean, that's changed a little bit due to recent events with COVID. But when I'm not at work, I usually go hiking. A lot of outdoors activities, and generally, I guess nowadays, just staying away from people.
Probably good advice. Hopefully that'll end soon. But hey, Brandon, thank you so much, man. This was great. I appreciate you sharing your story. You gave some really good tips and suggestions for people considering going down the same path as you. So we appreciate you taking time to share that with us.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jory.